been demoted or ever been terminated by an employer?
No.
Any more
Have you ever fired anybody? Have you ever
Yes.
terminated?
Yes.
Or
That would be a personnel matter. I don't think that's appropriate to discuss.
like someone in one of the companies you work for, you managed them
Yes.
hiring and firing.
Yes.
And you had responsibility for termination.
Yes.
More questions on educational or career? I was going to switch gears a little bit to, if elected, talk to us about some of your priorities in office.
Well, I think that some of the priorities are listed in the action plan. I think that one of the issues that we need to look at is, there were several issues raised by the resignation letter of former Sheriff Michael Savakinis, and I think that what we need to do clearly is to begin an audit of the Sheriff's Department immediately to make sure that all the established procedures are being followed. I think the next thing we need to do is to work with the county treasurer and budget director and establish a cash flow plan. I think recently we've seen in the PFM report that there are, I believe, 70 plus bank accounts held by the county. That seems a little difficult to get your arms around. I think that clearly we need to bring a much more disciplined approach. The reality is, how can you determine how much cash you have on hand at any given moment? I would work with the Tax Claim Bureau and the local tax collectors because we clearly need to bring up our tax collection revenues. For every 1%, I believe it's another additional $800,000 in income in revenue to the county. So we need to find ways to be able to boost those numbers. Obviously, we're in the middle of an economic recession, and so those things are made more difficult. People that are unemployed or underemployed, obviously have a difficult time. But we need to find ways to make that collection rate, obviously go up. One of the other things, we have an accounting system that we use, an accounts payable system in the county that requires us to pay over $300,000 in lease fees, essentially. I think that we could certainly advise the county commissioners to advertise to replace that system with a more user-friendly system and a less costly system. I think that we can cut those expenses in half. I think that
Lease fees, for what?
basically what the county does not own the system. They're leasing the system, software system from the vendor. And I think that we can probably find ways to save money on that software system and quite possibly get a better system in the process. One of the things that I suggested in the primary is that I think there needs to be much greater contact with the public from that office. So what I would suggest is holding quarterly sessions with the public and the media to provide information on county finances. I think that there's a sense that that county finances are a black box, and that nobody's sure that we have a problem until we have a problem, and when we have a problem, it's a big problem. I think more is, you would certainly agree, I think, being in this business, that more information is better. And finally, I think that we're underutilizing the website to do that as well. I think we need to use the website in much greater capacity for providing financial information.